Good morning, everybody. How's it going out there? Got my hearing aids in? Yes, I got my hearing aids in. I can hear myself talk. Hope you guys can hear me. I've been working on trying to, when I proofread or proof watch these videos, I have to listen to it, and I'm listening to myself. I'm finding myself having to speak up louder for everybody to hear me, so you don't have to play around with your volume control. Yeah, like I said, it's the new hearing aids I'm trying to get used to. So, I don't know when I'm going to post this. I might post it today. Today's Tuesday, March 6th, 7th. And I got to go into town and have my doctor wants my lower lungs CT scanned. So, I said, okay. I'm almost positive my lungs are going to come out clear from smoking weed because the doctor knows. He gave me the albuterol because I needed it for chronic bronchitis and COPD. Okay? And I told him, I says, I don't need any more albuterol. I don't. I have no more issues with that. No issues at all with my lungs. Yeah, my throat gets a little rough from the smoking herb, but that's it. It's because I've been smoking for almost 50 years. You know, at 58, when I hit 58, 3 years from now, that'll be 50 years of smoking cigarettes, minus 1 year in 6 months. So over 50 years, I've only quit smoking for a total of 18 months. So, I don't mind. I'm positive that my lungs will come out clear. I'm positive that my blood sugar next week, when I have my fasting blood sugar taken, that will be just as good, if not better, than the last time. And I smoked my cigarettes right down to the bone. Now we're going to have to go inside. I'm just going to hit pause here and we'll take this up inside. See you in a heartbeat. Okay, I'm still almost not quite done yet. I'm just getting everything set up here. I need something to drink. And keep all the dust off my glasses. I'll be right back. And I'm back again. I had to make myself a new soda. Shake it up. I actually got an old one here I'm finishing off. I had to make a new one. Because I'm thirsty all the time. And it's a side effect of morphine. It's dry mouth. But actually, I'm hypersalivatory. I drool. I have to change my pillowcase every week because when I sleep, I drool on it. My mouth has hypersalivating. But weed dries it out. That's why I try to smoke some flower every night before I go to bed. So, what's today? Like I said, today is March, what? 7th. Yes, today's March 7th. I'm going for a small, lower lung CT scan later today, which means I'm going to town, which means I'm going to use my transdermal patch. See, this is an indica THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, transdermal patch. Terpene enriched. I don't know if you guys can read that. Terpene enriched with myrcene, linalool, beta-pinene, and beta-caryophyllene. Yes. First thing I do is I always put it on my left wrist, right in here. They want it in a venous area. And use alcohol wipe, alcohol pad. Where's that pad? And just clean the area of your skin really well where you want to place the patch. And I've told you before, I do this with an alcohol pad because I need to take a shower today for one thing. But I get a my pain. I don't know if anybody knows this, but everybody has a different sweat. You actually have two different sweat glands. The apocrine and I can't remember the other one. But two completely separate sweats. Well, me, I have what I call pain sweat. Okay, when I used to work out, sweaty, I could no smell. Okay, a workout sweat was clean, smelled nice. My pain comes out in my sweat, and it reeks. My armpits literally smell like rotten onions. And I loathe onions, and I'm allergic to them. So I hate that smell. So using the alcohol wipe is a good thing. Now this is just there's a little 2x2 inch patch in here. Just tear off your little strip, and Mary's Medicinals. There's an 800 number here. 855-420-6334. Call them up. This is it. It's a flesh-colored rubber type patch, and there's two little pull-offs. Got a little pull-off here. Another big one here. And like I said, I just add it to my wrist. Boom. Now, what's going to happen is, over the course of the next 12 hours, I'll be feeling less pain. And it helps me on my trip to town. That's like, at the 1st of February, they had no patches. So I had to go through all February. Every time I went to town, I didn't have a patch. So I always sneak a vape in. See, you guys can't hardly see that vapor. And people in public can't smell it. You can, it has an odor, yes, but it smells nothing like marijuana. Nothing at all. But anyway, like I was telling you, this patch here, it says, most effective on a venous part of the body, such as the inside of the ankle or wrist. Should be cleaned with alcohol and allowed to dry prior to application. Press patch firmly onto skin after removing the plastic linings. These two guys. Garbage. And it says the ingredients is long chain silicone polymer. That's the patch itself. And then there's lecithin, oleic acid, cannabis extract, eucalyptol, and the terpenes. And I just put out a post talking about that I actually gave you the charts of both the cannabinoid chart and the terpene chart for medical marijuana. Did that in, I think it was yesterday's video, and I posted yesterday so that you could go over the video while I was talking. And I was talking and smoking and medicating and keeping you up to date on what my pain numbers were like. Like right now, I got my patch on, which will be fine. It doesn't matter. CT scan is metal. You just can't take metal in there. So I'm not worried. So this will not worry. I'll be taking off my bracelets, yes. But even, actually, only 2 of them have metal on, the other ones don't. But I got 12 hours of continuous relief from this. Okay? And it doesn't make you high. Okay? It doesn't do that. It's a long, slow feeling of wellness. Okay? Let's put it that way. A feeling of wellness. With no impairment to my motor function. No impairment. No violence. Mr. Jeff Sessions, President Trump, your Attorney General, needs to learn the facts. Okay? That's why I continue to do these videos, and I continue to repeat over and over and over and over and over again the facts that we have the endogenous cannabinoid system in our DNA. And guess what? It belongs there. Do you know what doesn't belong in our bodies? Chemotherapy poisons. Radiation. Does not. I mean, Debbie's paranoid about my CT scan. She says, you're getting too many radiation. I says, I'm not worried about it because cannabis cleans out the body. So that's why I'm positive that my lungs are clear, my blood system is clear. The only problem I might have is the ascending abdominal aortic. It runs in my family. We get aneurysm there's a little blowout of the vein where instead of the vein being like this, boom, you get this bubble called an aneurysm. That runs in my family. Well, we'll be able to see that in the CT scan because it's going to be of my lower lungs. So they'll be shooting right here. And then my fasting blood sugar. Like I said, I'll never lie to you guys. I will even show you the results on my Follow My Health app because I'll get on Follow My Health. Where is it? Right there. It's my Follow My Health app. Sign in with my secret code first. Dun, dun, dun. An issue. Let's see if I can get. It's not letting me. Oh, come on. This thing is being such a pain in the ass. Now I have to remember what my new password is. What's new? Secured message. Accept. Some features may be dependent on your connected organizations. And what we have here is called Follow My Health. Okay? This is my everything. Everything I need to know comes right up here. If you can read all these, get them off the light. See how everything's in there? So I can literally go to My Health, opens up a window here. Condition, medication, allergy, image, results. And here we are. Here's results. It gives you a list of all the results of my last blood test. PSA, TSH, lipids, and each one of those drops down to where it opens up. My lipids, and it gives all my cholesterol, triglycerides, and HDL, LDL, and all in the levels. And anything that's in red, you might not be able to see it here, but there's the two middle ones here are red. The ones above it and below it are in black. The red means that I'm slightly off, either below or above. And I could pick each one of those, and it'll tell me. Like right here, my triglycerides are 179 milligrams per deciliter. Normal range is 150 or less. So I'm a little bit high on my triglycerides. My HDL, this is my good stuff, is below average. Normal range is about 40 or less, or 40 or more. But I'm at 35. Now my lower is 113. Normal range is 0 to 130. I'm right in line right there. My LDL is, yeah, it's black. But I can go through my complete metabolic panel right here. All I have to do is touch it and it opens it up. And there's everything there on the metabolic panel. Follow My Health system is awesome. It is a wonderful way because it used to be I'd go in for my blood tests. Well, I'd get a printout mailed to me with everything. On the Follow My Health app, I can email my doctor right off the app. Instead of through email, it goes through the Follow My Health app. And you don't even need the app. If you have a laptop or regular computer, you can have all of your records right there. This has got my entire medical history. Not just with Dr. Rick, my present doctor, but my previous doctors. And it has a list, you can look up and find when, I'm sorry, I'm not going to pass things along now, but it's just a wonderful thing to be able to look at and know, because it tells you what ranges you should be in. So it keeps me apprised as to, do I have to cut down on eating the cheeseburgers and pizza? Because we eat pizza once a week at least. And burgers every other week. I love my cheeseburgers. I love my pizza. My pie. It's a pie. Debbie's a New Yorker. It's not pizza, it's a pie. It's a meat pie. So, anyway. The patch, $16. And it gives you the whole day of continuous release of terpenes and tetrahydrocannabinol. THC works on the pain center of the brain. Okay? And the terpenes themselves go everywhere else in your body. Your CB receptors accept terpenes. Just like from any natural plant. Like if you eat rosemary, the terpenes in there do specific things in your body. Yes. Because plants are just wonderful. Okay? It's what we started with as humans way back in the day. What is it? A couple 100,000 years ago when man was first started, oh, me, Thor, ugh. The club the woman on the head and drag her by the hair, you've seen those cartoons. But when it comes down to cannabis and cannabinoids, our bodies are made to accept them. We're built upon the endocannabinoid system. It is in it's in your body, all over, okay? Get over the psychoactivity. Get past that, okay? Totally forget the psychoactivity, the euphoria, okay? I don't even like psychoactivity, makes it sound like LSD. No, it's nothing like a psychoactive plant. It's nothing like that. Very light psychoactive properties to cannabis, to THC. And everything else in cannabis does not get you high. Just the THC. And as I just posted a long post, it does. The THC does more than get you high. It helps CBD in your brain to clean off the neurons, cure Alzheimer's, or put it in remission. Yes, remission for Alzheimer's is good. remission for cancer is not. That's why I say for cancer, you need cannabinoids, not chemotherapy. Because just as I've told you before, think about it. There's 3 cancers that will not ever, have never, and will never respond to chemotherapy. 3 cancers that will kill you, and they still push the poisons on you, knowing that they're ineffective. That's unacceptable. Okay? It's totally wrong. It's totally unacceptable. I even shared the picture again today. Vioxx. 60,000 deaths per year. No arrests. Because it's Big Pharma. They can buy their way out of shit. Okay? Marijuana, 0 deaths ever recorded through using marijuana. 0 deaths, but 800,000 arrests per year. Make sense? No, it doesn't, does it? Big Pharma does not make sense. Big Pharma wants money. Big Pharma wants customers. Not patients. Customers. Okay? And some doctors are caught in the trap. Some doctors have freed themselves from the trap. My doctor did. When he saw what OxyContin and psych meds did to me, he said, let's try morphine, and I'm going to script you medical marijuana, and we'll see how this goes. And he was under the impression that medical marijuana would, since it's a Schedule I narcotic, with morphine, heroin, mescaline, psilocybin, all those, heroin, coke, meth, they're all up there on the top. Schedule I as having no medicinal value. Yet my morphine has medicinal value. So why is marijuana up here with no medicinal value with drugs that do have a medicinal value? Big Pharma paying people off. Big Pharma has multi-billions, maybe $1 trillion income a year for all the pharmaceutical companies put together. Okay? And everything that they push on us. There's a new one that just came out last night. Just last night I saw this advertisement for this new medication. I cannot remember what it was, but suicide is one of the top side effects. Tuberculosis. Okay? If you're trying to cure something like eczema or plaque psoriasis, okay? They got these drugs out for plaque psoriasis. Read the side effects. You will want to vomit. I know I do anytime I think about these new drugs coming out. Rexulti and all this shit, and Viberzi. Have you seen the Viberzi commercials with the silly looking redhead that's in a full body suit? Looks like and it got a colon. Her colon up her, her intestines are on there. Have you seen those commercials? That drug, listen to the side effects. Constipation and diarrhea you can take care of with marijuana. And maybe a Dulcolax. I used a lot of laxatives when I was on OxyContin. First hit of the day. Sorry about that. Woof. Gotta wait till I'm done shooting it up before I smoke any more. My vape, however, is my blue one. This one's God Bud. Very strong. But I wanted to go over some things. Let me look through my book here. This will be video number 60. Yes, it's a milestone, I guess. What kind of things can I find to talk about here? Let's go over the diseases again. Because I'm trying to get this out to everybody, okay? World leaders, presidents, prime ministers, queens, kings, despots, tyrants, whoever, North Korea. Marijuana is free. Grow it, smoke it, sell it. They don't care. Just don't be seditious towards the government. You'll end up in prison, one of their labor camps, which North Korea has a lot of. A lot of political prisoners, people that don't like Kim Jong-il and Kim Jong-un now, okay? But North Korea realizes that marijuana is medicine, okay? One of the worst communistic countries in the world today, North Korea, has weed for everybody. No restrictions, no laws, no rules, no guidelines. Just grow it and smoke it. Okay? Why can't we be like North Korea? Okay? North Korea has probably got as many people locked up as political prisoners as we have locked up as small-time marijuana users. Okay? 800,000 arrests per year some years. Okay? It swings from anywhere from 200 to 800,000 arrests. Okay? That was before legalization in the last 9 states. Okay? Now it's probably even lower. Okay? So anywhere from 3 to 600,000 arrests per year for marijuana in the states that it's illegal. Okay, so let's go over a partial list of disorders and syndromes here. And we'll think, and we'll pause and reflect on what the one disease has for symptoms, signs, disabilities, what it does to us. Just think. Acquired hypothyroidism. Okay? It means your thyroid does not put out what it's supposed to. Okay? And it's acute. It just happens, Marijuana fixes it. Acute gastritis. Agoraphobia. AIDS and related illnesses. Alcohol abuse. Alcoholism. Alopecia. Hair loss. Cannabis works on your hair. Okay? That's the endocannabinoid system at work. Okay? And as I said, alcohol abuse, alcoholism, addictions, amphetamine dependency. Okay? All addictions are curable with cannabis. It is not addictive in and of itself. In fact, somebody quoted years ago that marijuana is only addictive in the way that all pleasurable things are addictive, like chocolate. Okay, anandamide is in cocoa. It makes your body crave it. Okay, just ask my mother and me, chocoholics. Okay, love our chocolate. I always used to call my mom and say, hey, we're driving down to, come into town for the night and stay with you. Can we bring anything? My mom goes, chocolate. That's it. Chocolate or cake. Chocolate cake is the best. Okay, and I'm the same way. I love my chocolate. I like my red vines, and we got some candied ginger, that's good, but I'm a chocoholic. Addictions like heroin, meth, coke, mushrooms, psychedelics, anything that you can get addicted to. Marijuana attenuates the symptoms of withdrawal and helps. Okay? A study of a whole bunch of people about that were addicted to stuff. Cannabis came out as no addictive properties to it, yet it helps cure every other addiction. So, over here, who's over here? Anti-weed Nazis. Can't do that with my head. Ow. Over here is the super stoner culture I told you about, and we're stuck here in the middle are all these diseases. We're all stuck here in the middle with these two sides over here, one making us look bad, one saying that we look bad because of this. Okay? We're not there. We're not all stoners. We're patients. We are patients needing relief from everything. Okay? Daily minor aches and pains from working out. It improves your workout. It makes you go through workouts better. I used to run after smoking weed. I'd go out and run anywhere from 5 to 15 miles. I loved running. Okay? If it wasn't for my skeleton, I'd be able to get out and run again. Okay? That's how good my lungs are. And like I've said before, I can hold my breath 5 to 6 minutes. Let's get back to this. Alopecia. Like I said, this goes to your hair. Okay? That's how finely tuned the endocannabinoid system is. It's finely tuned, okay? It's like setting the points and condenser on the old distributors in the cars, okay? If anybody remembers that. Nowadays, it takes a team of mechanic doctors to fix these freaking new cars that are coming out. You can't even change your own battery on some cars. I was looking at this one car we were thinking of buying, and I opened the hood and I said, "Where's the battery?" And I followed the cables, and on top of the battery was a big plastic thing like this, covering the entire battery and going down the side with the window washer fluid in it, which took like 5 screws to get off before you could get to the battery. They're packing these things in, and they're making it to where you can't work on your own car anymore. Okay? I used to have an old 1958 Ford station wagon with 3-speed on the column and a straight 6 engine. And I used to be able to sit inside the engine compartment on the wheel well and work on my car. Nowadays, you can't get an arm down in there without getting stuck or burnt or stabbed or torn, okay? And you need these teams of doctors that are mechanics to fix these cars that they're building nowadays. Cars are changing. Our bodies are not. Our bodies contain the endogenous cannabinoid system from the birth of man, from the birth of vertebrates. Any vertebrate life on this planet has an endogenous cannabinoid system. I will repeat this over and over and over again, and I will tag the president on every video from now on when I share it, and say, these are the facts. Okay? Cannabis cures cancer. Chemotherapy does not cure cancers. Remission, which means it is still there. Cannabinoids totally rid the body of every cancer cell it contacts. Do not tell me that weed will give you lung cancer. It has been proven to be totally opposite. It has beneficial effects to the lungs, as I've said, COPD, chronic bronchitis. Yeah. And like I said in my post, I threw away my albuterol inhaler 3 years ago. Told the doctor I don't need it anymore because of weed. And I keep trying to explain to him. I'm trying to give him an education on weed every time I visit. Okay, and that's why I'm not worried about my fasting blood sugar test and the lung X-rays. I'm positive that hemp and cannabis have been helping me, and I feel nothing from the morphine. I don't ever feel strung out. Like I said in one video and the post I posted a little while ago, is that a week ago, this past Sunday, a week and 3 days ago, 2 days, I woke up in the morning and my pills are usually sitting right here on my table. So even if I'm sleeping in the bedroom, I come out here, there's my pills. Well, I woke up super early that morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. My pills were not sitting here. And I was in intense pain. I grabbed my vape and I laid down with it. And I was just laying there like this, and every once in a while I'd like come half awake, and boom, I'd be right back out. So basically I slept through the whole day. But cannabis attenuated the symptoms. I never once got, oh my God, I missed my morphine. I need my morphine. It doesn't happen. Yes, our bodies individually all have different ranges of things that happen and the way our bodies work. Me, I don't use soap or underarm deodorants because it makes me sweat and it makes it stink. And soaps make my acne break out. Hot water with a defoliant cloth keeps my acne down. I mean, 55 years old and I've still got freaking acne. Okay? And Clearasil does not work. Benzoyl peroxide does not work on me. Okay? And like I said, my body's weird, and even my brain is weird and special. I'm wired differently. I mean, I'm a chronic overworker, overthinker. And I have this unquenchable thirst for knowledge to keep learning, which is what brought me to start researching cannabis and to begin my legalization movement and these videos that I've been doing for a few months now. 2 months. 60 videos. That's 2 months worth of videos right there. I think I started last year, just in December. Took some time off. But it all comes down to the people over here in the religious right and the anti-weed Nazis who think that they know it all when they don't know a frickin' thing because they haven't done any research. If they did their research instead of acting off of feelings, then they would find out the truth. But then they'd find out they're wrong, and most people do not like to admit that they were wrong. Gotta do something. Sorry, it's a pain in the ass when my dentures don't fit right. South of the border. But let's go back to some diseases here, okay? Because I haven't even gone halfway through the A's. Okay? Amyloidosis. I'm not sure what that is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But look it up. Amyloidosis. Amy, Loidosis. Marijuana fixes it. I don't even know what it is, but marijuana fixes it. ALS. Acute lymphocytic something. Lou Gehrig's disease. angina pectoris, chest pain from the heart. Cannabis helps it. Everybody says it raises your respiration and your heart rate. Wrong. Neither THC or CBD or any of the cannabinoids affect the autonomic nervous system, that which regulates heart rate and breathing, lymph activity. Cannabis does not touch it, doesn't go near it. Okay? The only reason your heart rate might go up is that you can't handle the high, and you need to go to sativa or a lower THC strain, and you'll find that you won't have the elevated heart rate and breathing problems, because that's all it is. You can't handle the high. That's why if you're having a heart attack, smoke some weed. If you think you're having a heart attack, smoke weed. Ankylosis, anorexia and anorexia nervosa, of course, munchies, makes you hungry. But it also helps cure the mental part of it too, okay? That's what you have to remember. If marijuana does all this for all these addictions, it's fixing what's wrong in your head. Okay, so the anti-weed Nazis and their story of stories that you only hear about is it's either a guy or a girl started on smoking cannabis and went to higher and higher and higher and higher drugs and ended up overdosing of heroin. Willie Nelson is 70 freaking years old. Keith and Chong are right there with him. I don't know if Keith still smokes, but Chong does. And he's cured himself of cancer twice with cannabis oil that he made himself. Just like Dennis Hill and Rick Simpson. Okay? 3 cancer success stories. Two of which have books written about them. Okay? There is no addiction to cannabis. It is an anti-addiction medicine. And it is not a gateway drug unless that gate is at the convenience store or the door of the fridge. That's the only gateway part to cannabis there is. There is no gateway drug. It's an exit drug, quoted by a veteran, because it helped him exit that part of his mind that kept replaying crap over and over and over again. Nightmares and daymares. I told you about the daymares. Gotta drink weird like that, yes, because I can't bend my neck. But anorexia, anxiety disorders, any chronic medical symptom that limits major life activities. Now, I took this off a website. I don't remember where it was. But if you just Google list of diseases and disorders helped by marijuana, and you'll come up with this list of almost 100 diseases. Okay? Any chronic medical symptom that limits major life activities, which is most of these diseases that are on here. Fibromyalgia, Bell's palsy, adrenocortical, endometrial, prostate, testicular, uterine cancers, cervical brachial syndrome, cervical disc disease, cerebral palsy, carpal tunnel, weakening of the body from severe illness is called cachexia, Cachexia. Bruxism, grinding your teeth. Marijuana fixes it. Okay, are we not seeing something here that says to you, wonder drug, a wonder medicine? Okay, If you're not thinking that now, then you just don't want to think. You don't care. Okay? You're just working off of your own feelings, and your negative feelings against cannabis are unfounded. Nobody starts with cannabis and dies of a heroin overdose unless they want to take heroin. Okay? I'm an alcoholic and I have an addictive personality, and I've been through all the drugs. I've taken mushrooms fresh out from the cow fields because they grow under cow patties. Psilocybin mushrooms. Psychedelic. Woo! Colors, trails. Psilocybin, mescaline, peyote, heroin, cocaine. The only things I have not tried is ecstasy and that's it, I think. Date rape drugs, GBH, things like that. I have never done those. But Quaaludes, heroin, cocaine, meth, I've been there. And I have an addictive personality, so I got semi-addicted to these things. But I was always able to drop them. Okay? I wasn't even I was on heroin for almost 3 months. And I dropped it like a hot rock. And I never had withdrawal symptoms. OxyContin, I did. Yes, the single molecule pharmaceuticals that I keep bitching about. OxyContin put me in our lazy boy wearing underwear. The disposable underwear. Because I lost control of my bowels, bladder. Okay, I wouldn't make it to the bathroom on time. I was barely crawling around the house. I couldn't walk unless I had a piece of furniture that I could lean on every few steps. Okay, OxyContin did that to me. Morphine has not. Cannabis has not. Arteriosclerotic heart disease, right there, still affects your heart in a positive fashion. Why? Because you have cannabinoid receptors in your heart, as well as your lungs, your bloodstream, your veins, your muscles, your tendons, ligaments, cartilage, bones, all have the endocannabinoid system naturally occurring. You cannot deny nature. Okay? Read your Bibles all you want. Say it's a sin all you want. It doesn't say in the Bible that cannabis is a sin. It doesn't even say smoking weed is a sin, of smoking of anything. They tell you about not drinking. And even in the not drinking, they're talking about new wine. If you read your Bible right, I've read it, okay? They call it new wine. New wine is hardly alcoholic at all. Okay? It's barely fermented. That's what new wine was back in the day. Okay? Study. Learn. Okay? Listen to my videos. And listen. And open your mind. Okay? Open your mind to the possibility that you might just be acting off of feelings. And you're wrong to do that. It's not right. Okay? To say Mother Nature is illegal? Aspirin was invented after finding out that the intercambium bark of the cherry tree and the willow tree had analgesic properties. So, cherry bark tea, willow bark tea was what the old medicine men and stuff, whenever back in the days, okay, 6,500 years ago, they knew this was a medicinal plant, because they noticed it did positive things for the human body. Before they ever knew there was an ECS and that it's everywhere in your body, before they knew it was an ECS, They knew that cannabis belonged in our bodies because it does a body good with almost zero negative reactions or side effects and 0 deaths ever recorded. Big Pharma kills millions of people per year. Mr. President, President Trump, POTUS 45, okay? Listen. Weed is safe. These people over here, the anti-weed Nazis, and the stoners over here in their counterculture, are not us. We are not them. We are us. This is us. Stuck here in the middle. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Told you I can't sing. Arthritis. Both arthritises. Gout, also known as arthropathy. Asperger's syndrome. Asthma. ADD, ADHD. CBD alone will not get your child high, is non-psychoactive, is non-addicting, and it calms them down. ADD and ADHD is almost like a seizure syndrome, okay? The child's brain switches and they go, second wife, she was bipolar. Her youngest, okay, the school called me one day because they couldn't get a hold of her. So the school called me and said, you gotta come down here and do something about this girl. I'm like, what? And she goes, she's walking around the classroom dancing and singing. And the teacher could not get her to stop. ADD. Cannabis, or skip that, hemp. Hemp-derived cannabidiol helps children with ADD, ADHD, and seizure disorders because it works on the brain in the CB1 receptors up here. Okay? Hemp-derived cannabidiol. Stop seizures cold, safely. You're not drugging your child. Back in the day, my mom used to give me codeine cough syrup. Okay? Now, 11-year-olds can get OxyContin. Eleven-year-olds can get OxyContin. Did you just not hear my story of my withdrawal from OxyContin? Do you want your child to go through that? Do you want your child to scream from the bathroom, "Mommy, help, I can't poop," because their shit's turned into hard as a rock? While I was on OxyContin, I told you I'll never lie to you, and this is the fact and truth. Like I said, when I was going through withdrawals, I had the runs. Everything would go right through me. While I was taking the OxyContin, my shit turned into a black bricks. Where Debbie had got me some gloves from Walgreens, and I had to go up and, yes, I had to go up and dig shit out because of the OxyContin's OIC. And these were like rocks that usually clogged up the toilet. And I had to, and we bought a snake just because of this. Because we had to keep snaking out the drains because my shit was hard as a rock and would not flush right. Okay? And that was OxyContin. The single molecule pharmaceuticals that I keep saying are dangerous and hazardous to our health. Okay? Stop the insanity of letting Big Pharma control our bodies. Okay? Basically, the federal government, in supporting the DEA and the FDA's restrictions and the Big Pharma's bitching and trying to buy off everything they can to keep marijuana away from us, is such bullshit. Okay? And it pisses me off because these people believe anything anybody tells them, as long as it's negative and fits in with their agenda. And as an anti-weed Nazi, that's just what it is. The Nazis were very strictly Sieg, okay? That's why I call them Nazis, because they spew propaganda and they're hazardous to the legalization movement of cannabis for the health of every human being on this planet. Yes, I get pissy. Sorry. But I'm stating facts. And if you refuse to look at scientific evidence and the 10,000 year safety profile of no deaths, you cannot link a heroin overdose to cannabis. Okay, so these anti-weed Nazis are saying that cannabis led to a heroin overdose. Bullshit. It did not. Addiction is in the heart and mind of the addict. As I was started to tell you about me. Addictive personality. Alcoholic, 10th generation. Love my beer. Love my scotch. Don't drink anymore. Don't need to. I've got my morphine that takes care of my pain and my weed that helps take care of my pain and everything else. I don't need to drink. And I shouldn't drink with the morphine anyway. That is danger. Okay? A few too many shots of whiskey with my morphine, I could go into respiratory arrest. And cannabis would help. If it's there, it'll help. Fresh new soda. SodaStream. SodaStream system. Google it. Try it if you want. But let me tell you, when they first came out, it's $15 for a bottle of air that screws into this tower that you put the bottle on. Screw the bottle on with water to the fill line. The fill line right there. You fill it up with water. Screw this up in there. And there's this little thing that comes down and it blows carbon dioxide into the water. And carbonates the water. Then you add a syrup. The syrup comes with a cap that's got lines in it. And you fill up the cap to the line, you put it in there, give it a mild shake. You've got a soda. But it's $15 for a canister of air. So what we decided to do is I'm starting to put down a check mark. Got a little post-it note on the wall next to the soda maker, and I'm putting check marks for every soda I can get. Because when the SodaStream first started, it was like $3 for a bottle of syrup. Well, they dropped the amount of syrup in the bottles. They made them bottle, instead of squat and wide, they're now tall and round and skinny. They took away 25% of what the bottle used to have and upped the price by 15%. Okay? Because it got so many people started using it that they got greedy. So now, just the bottles alone, this bottle It's supposed to be only used for 1 year. Mine's going on 2. And I'm going to have to get some new ones. But they're almost $20 for one freaking empty plastic bottle. That is a comparison for BigPharma. As BigPharma puts out their pills and finds that the side effects cure other diseases. So they go from one disease to the next with these pills. And you end up with 10 medications for one problem. Where cannabis is the one medicine for 10 problems. Okay? So, presidents, everybody, legalize. Medical at least. Let the states go recreational. As they see their income increasing, as they see opioid-related deaths and suicides and drunk driving dropping, teen use drops, violence drops. Okay? If you had a plane come by and just spray out cannabis smoke over Chicago, I bet you would see no more shooting deaths. Okay, if you just got the whole city buzzed for a day, okay, you'll see a completely safe, calm city. Okay, you won't see the violence. Because if the whole world smoked a joint at the same time, there'd be world peace for half an hour, followed by a worldwide food shortage. I thought that was a cute meme I saw. And cannabis actually lowers your body temperature, which means it makes you cool. That's another joke. But, where was I? Asperger's, asthma, ADD, and ADHD, and autism. Again, we're getting into problems in our children's heads. Okay? And that's about it for the A's. Autism, autoimmune diseases. That's the A's. Stop with the A's. And get back to talking about the endocannabinoid system with its system of receptors all throughout our body is there for a purpose. Mother Nature put it there for a purpose. Or if you want to look at it this way, God put it there for a purpose. Because we are tied to these plants like 2 pieces of a puzzle. 3 pieces, cannabis and hemp and us. And we just fit together. No, that's not a sexual reference. We fit together like a puzzle piece. Okay? Diseases take away the puzzle pieces. You add this to it, you're putting the puzzle back together. And it's safe. I'm not sitting here harming anyone. I'm not hurting anyone. Okay? I'm getting relief from pain, depression, anxiety, okay? Nightmares, sleep problems, COPD, bronchitis. And I've cured myself of some of these things by using cannabis. Okay? So you guys over here, the anti-weed Nazis, get off your soapboxes. You do not know what you're talking about. Nobody goes from cannabis to morphine and heroin. Okay? Cannabis gets addicts off of drugs. If the person ends up going to meth or coke or heroin, or psilocybin or mescaline and ecstasy and quaaludes, all up the ladder of the narcotic scale, cannabis has nothing made that person overdose on heroin except that person. Not the cannabis. Like I said, Willie Nelson, Tommy Chong. They're going on, they're 70 years old. They're not violent. Like Mr. Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, said, marijuana causes violence. Ignorant statement. That's the basis of the ignorance that I say is in the prison surrounding marijuana. Okay? We keep throwing people into prison for a plant that makes you feel good and heals your body. And it's wrong to prohibit and profiteering off of it. Okay? Correctional Corporations of America does not want weed legalized because they lose money when they don't have an inmate. They get paid per inmate. Okay? And they serve them the shittiest food and try to get as much money as possible in their pockets. So, correctional corporations, big lumber, big oil, big pharma, plastics manufacturers, rope manufacturers, they don't want hemp farmed anymore. When it did so many has so 50,000 recorded for industrial applications. 50,000! And this was known decades ago. Okay, this is not new science. This has been going on. Okay, for almost 200 years, they used hemp as money. Bartering, okay? Here is bales of hemp. I need a cow. Okay, you're going to give me 2 bales for this cow. Okay, that's the way it was. That's the way... There's some city in the Netherlands or some other country over there in Northern Europe. Every home in this city has to have so many square feet of garden and grow, and they all get together as a community and decide who is going to grow what. And then they all share their fruits of their labor. Okay? Hey, I've got some melons here. Oh, great, I need some tomatoes. Swap. Okay? And we got by. Nowadays, we're being looked at as dollar signs. Okay? We are being minimized by the government, by the pharmaceutical corporations, correctional corporations of America, all of them. They are minimizing our issues, all in the name of making the almighty frickin' dollar. Okay? And it is wrong. It is so very far from wrong that I get incensed, pissed, and beyond pissed. And everybody knows that I don't stand for illegal links on my groups. As I told you, this one girl tried to piggyback in to an illegal sales on a post of mine. No, don't make me look bad. I'm here telling people the truth and the facts. And I don't want to be pulled into anybody's criminal activities. So right there, Mr. Sessions, that's what you want to take care of. That's where you want to crack down on the illegal imports and these people over in California saying they'll mail us an ounce for $200. Okay? Interstate transfer of weed, even if it's from one legal state to another legal state, bordering each other, is still a federal crime. Yes, it is. It is still a federal crime. It is interstate drug trafficking. Even if you go up to Colorado and buy yourself a 1/4 ounce is your limit for the month and drive back across the border, you can lose your weed, even if you have a green card, because you bought out of state and tried to bring it back in state to a different state. And that's a federal offense. Remember, the feds are still in total control of weed. Medical and recreational is by the states under the 10th Amendment. I'd love to see the rest of the states just say, okay, we can follow the 10th Amendment and just heal our people. So, for state legislators, send this to them. Send this to your state. Misters and Mrs. and Mrs. and Mrs. Listen. You have the endocannabinoid system. You cannot deny it. Cannabis will fix anything wrong with you. You cannot deny it. You can deny it. But denial does not make it so. Okay? If there is a God, then I'm wrong. But prove me wrong by letting me see God. Okay? Until then, it didn't happen. Stop thinking of the reefer madness and stop thinking of the counterculture of the long-haired, Rasta ganja smoking, boxing stoners. Get off of it all, because we in the middle outnumber everybody else. So, those of us that need marijuana, that are in the middle, everybody in here with me, I need you to help me. Share these videos. Send them to your states. Send them to POTUS. Send them across the ocean to Europe, Eastern and Western Europe, Russia. Mr. President Putin, your people. I have some friends of your citizens that need cannabis. And I'll bet you have millions of people suffering from chronic pain too. Open the cannabis market. Open the hemp market. Hemp grows on land that normally wouldn't grow anything else. Because it grows wild. It's a weed. Hemp is a weed. But it still fits us. It's a weed with medicinal properties. Can anybody give me proof otherwise? Without saying, well, it just makes you a dope. That's why they call it dope. No. You might get a good buzz and you might get laughing and silly, but it's not permanent. Okay? I've gained 32 IQ points in 3 years. And I've got an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. And cannabis helps me with that. My poetry, okay? I wrote out all the pain I could. I can't think of any new pain poems to write. But for 18 months, I put out a lot of freaking poems. Gotta look at the 71%. Okay, going on an hour and 15 minutes here. But governors, mayors, governors especially, you're in charge of the state. Presidents, kings, queens around the world. Everybody needs to listen to me. The facts are the facts. That we have the ECS in our DNA. Okay, I'll lecture you over and over and over on that. You cannot deny it and make it go away. You have the system in your body. What is so wrong with utilizing that if it makes people happy and healthy? Presidents and governors, think about your people. Think about the constituents, the people that voted for you and the people that may vote for you again, or the people that won't vote for you because you refuse to legalize marijuana. Think about that. Think about the votes that you could lose. Okay? Because right now, Arizona is sparsely populated. We have 115,000 legal medical marijuana smokers here. okay? And we're very sparsely populated. And we made $330 million last year, okay? The government, if they just legalize and tax it, 10% of that, it's $33 million a year just from one state, a sparsely populated state. Now go to California, go to any in the Northeast, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, they're all packed with people. New York City, what is it, 8 million people now in the city that never sleeps? Something like that, 8 or 9 million, okay? Cannabis cures, cannabis chills, it does not make you violent, it heals the body, it saves people's lives, okay? When the VA puts veterans on opiates, so many times it leads, sadly, to suicides or overdoses, accidental or not. Can't tell because the person's dead, But opiate-related deaths drop 25% in every state where it's legalized. People are picking up stakes and moving to Colorado and places like that because they need to get cannabis for their children who are suffering from painful or harmful seizure disorders and other diseases that they know marijuana will fix. Why? Because we don't need clinical trials. We don't. I did my clinical trials in yesterday's video. I kept you up on my pain level. Okay? Right now I'm still at a 7. I'm still trying to get down. When this uploads, I gotta go shower and shave. Make myself look presentable for the visit to the radiology place, but cannabis prohibition is just the wrongest thing there is, okay? This is not even anything like the alcohol prohibition of the 30s, which it did create criminal empires, just as the marijuana prohibition today has created criminal empires. The legalization will cut the criminal empires down, okay? The DEA will save money. And if the DEA goes into the drug regulating agency and works with BigPharma, growing hemp for industry and medicines, and cannabis strains for medicines, because we should be treating our vets for free, not making them pay for their medications, and not making them pay for weed. The VA itself should have their pharmacy, should have bundles of weed, just like a dispensary. Or, otherwise, vets with PTSD get a note from their VA that says they can have medical marijuana. Don't treat them the same as regular medical marijuana patients. Okay, treat them as the VA patients and give them their weed up to a limit, have a limit to it, and then the VA pays the dispensary for the weed. It's like an insurance company, okay? But the VA can send the vet to the dispensary to get free weed to help with his or her PTSD, and the dispensary will be reimbursed by the Veterans Administration. Why? Because the federal government releases the prohibition. End prohibition of marijuana. At the end of prohibition of liquor, we started having more and more alcohol-related car accidents. And over the decades, over almost a century, since the release of the prohibition of alcohol. So many people have died of alcohol poisoning, alcohol-induced violence, alcohol-induced auto accidents. None of that will happen if you legalize cannabis and hemp for industry. None of that will happen. Just the opposite. Okay? We got rid of all the criminal empires when we legalized liquor, because nobody was going to go to the, it used to be they crossed over the St. Lawrence River up between New York and Canada. You get the Canadian whiskey down here, okay? That's the criminal empire that cannabis has, too. But it's not the same, okay? Most people that need weed are not the super stoners. The majority of us is stuck here in the middle. Yeah, I'm getting off track. I heard a lot, and I gotta shower and rest up before the trip to town. But oh shit, I put that on. It won't come off in the shower though. Legalization across the board is what we need. Okay. We here in the middle, okay? We don't need this propaganda over here, and we don't need these people making us look bad. You need to look beyond both ends and look at the middle and look at the demand. The demand, okay? Supply and demand, business, medical people, basically demand access to cannabis. Okay? I think it vets for safe access and some other groups for safe access to cannabis for positive purposes. There is nothing negative about marijuana except getting caught with it when you're not supposed to have it. And that's wrong. Okay? Gotta cut this in an hour and a half. I do get rambling. Not bad for an introvert, huh? President Trump legalized marijuana. Just legalize it federally for medical. Let the states go recreational after that. Okay? Let them take care of that on their own. But just listen to the millions of us that are sitting here and that are not high rolling token, hotboxing, living in a cloud of smoke tokers. We are not these people over here that have nothing good to say about weed because they're speaking from ignorance and feelings instead of proof. We're here in the middle. And I'm here in the middle telling everybody that we need legalization. You need to let up on the prohibition of cannabis, interdict incoming drug trafficking, go after the local meth labs, leave marijuana and marijuana patients alone. Okay? Every car accident since Colorado legalized, there was marijuana present in people's systems. But each and every incident included alcohol. There's a thing called multiplying. Alcohol and weed. It can make you throw up, for one thing, because the addition of weed while you're on an alcohol buzz causes your semicircular canals in your ears to go off balance, and it makes you feel nauseous and you vomit. It also causes the auto accident. Marijuana was there just because the state was legal, okay? You cannot prove that a person was too high to drive. Alcohol is the killer, just like cigarettes are. And GMOs, okay? last thing we ever want to do is let Monsanto near our hemp and cannabis crops. We do not need genetically modified cannabis. Hybridized, fine. Hybridization is going great. But do not get down into the genetics of a plant and change it. Okay? Because that's what they're doing and coming up with these single molecule pharmaceuticals that I keep bitching about. And they're inventing these poisons and they're foisting at us, and it just makes me mad to be treated as a number with little to no regard for my feelings or my pain or my issues. And it's the same for the millions of us in the middle. We are tired of being minimized. We are tired of being called stoners and drug addicts and red-eyed walking psychopaths. We are not. We are patients. Yes, I lose my patience over this. With good reason. If you just think about it. I've got very good reason. Okay? Because I have my pain under control using morphine, cannabis, and hemp oil. And it's made me a world of difference. Okay? Me and my doctor together have stumbled upon the greatest mix ever. And when I found it, and I found it to put in my notebook that opiate therapy is best treated when you're going through opiate therapy, cannabis is the best addition or adjunct to the opiates therapy. Okay? That's why I never feel nervous about missing a morphine. I just feel the higher pain. And like I showed you in my video yesterday, that I finally got my pain down to a 4 or 5, which feels like a sprained ankle all over my body. Okay, that type of pain all over your body. Just imagine that. That's the lowest I get. Right now, I'm about a 6 from all the vaping. But when I get them out of the shower, I'm going to be up about an 8 or a 9. Because it hurts to take a shower, and it's exhausting. It makes me go right to sleep. So while this is uploading, I'm going to shower. I may post this today, I might wait for tomorrow, I don't know. But what it all comes down to is, we require cannabinoids in our diet. Hemp seeds, I've talked about hemp seeds in my videos. The perfect protein. Hemp hearts, actually. It's the inside of the seed, not the hull. Okay? The perfect protein with the perfect balance of omega-3s and 6s that you cannot find in any other food source. And the very extremely rare but necessity for our health gamma-linolenic acid, GLA. Very, very rare in our food supply, but a very important adjunct to our health. Mother Nature, God, whoever, has put us together with this plant. And man's prohibition either, it's, what was it, the motives for murder is either love, money, or hate, something like that, okay? Well, we feel unloved, we feel hated, we feel minimized by the pharmaceutical companies and the anti-weed Nazis, and those of you who call marijuana violence. No, I don't get violent on weed. I don't get violent unless somebody's violent to me first. Then let me tell you, I've got my black belts to prove it, that I can And I use my stick like a staff, okay? I practice with it. I go out in the yard now because it helps me limber up. But I use my walking stick. It's a weapon too. I'm never unarmed, whether I've got my gun on me or my cane, because I can use my cane as a weapon. Us disabled people, get yourself a nice big tall walking stick, nice hefty one, something that you can whack somebody really hard with. Protection, that's for protection. That's why I'm mentioning that. But here we are at an hour and 30 minutes of all I've been doing is telling you about the ECS and just the A's of diseases. And just think of the plethora of symptoms that go with all of those syndromes. Any chronic medical condition that limits major life activities, which is everything for me. The only thing this can't stop is my bone growths. In fact, it helps bone grow. Well, I've got bone growth all up and down my spine. I don't know if cannabis is contributing to it or not, or if it's my discs degenerating. But I haven't felt like it's gotten worse yet. I do have my days where I'll be at a 10 most of the day, and nothing helps. I can just barely maintain taking morphine and smoking my weed. I've got my Valium and Seroquel backups to help with that too. And they all work together in a nice little entourage effect, and they help keep me sane and sober. Okay? I'm not high or drunk from this. I'm not toasted. I'm not wasted. Never. Healed. That's what we need. We need legalization for our bodies to heal. And if we are naturally tied to these two plants that do so much for industry and health, we need to stop the prohibition. To stop it. Let every state go medical. Copy Arizona's program. It's a very good program. Okay? 5 ounces a month, 2.5 ounces every 2 weeks is your limit. Okay? Because we need it. Some people have to smoke a whole 5 ounces in a month because of their pain levels and how they get by. Me, I've learned how to live as a number 7 and number 8 for weeks at a time. My flaring is when I hit 9 and 10. And I've had to learn to deal with it because I don't want to OD on my morphine. I don't want to take too much morphine. So I got weed, and weed helps. Weed gets me through. It gets me by. It helps save me. Okay? It has saved me from chronic debilitating pain to the point where I can sit here and put out these videos, and it helps me. I'll be smoking a couple bowls or a couple hits before I get in the shower, just so I can get through the shower. Okay? It all comes down to us needing health. The human beings need homeostasis. And cannabis promotes homeostasis at every level of vertebrate life and at every level of disease in our bodies. Cannabis fits in our bodies like a puzzle, like a cog in the machine to make the machine run good. Okay? When you slip out a cog and things are going bad, cannabis helps put the cog back in place so that everything's turning and moving the way it should be. If you want to look at it mechanically. Okay, and I can get into the physics of it. I can even get into the organic chemistry about it. And talk about terpene profiles and get deep into what terpenes do. Okay, It all comes down to the positive. And to keep weed away from those who need it is to do us a very grave disservice. I have my weed. I'm here in the middle with everybody else, many of who still need weed. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't need it. I need it. I don't need it legalized for me. I want to see it legalized for you people. You folks out there that watch this and realize that you're in the middle with me, I'm helping you. I'm trying to help you. And as many people as I can, because I'm a lover, not a fighter. I know how to fight. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to health, I'd rather have a friends list full of happy, healthy friends. Alas, most of my friends have been collected from pain. We've all got some kind of pain condition or depression issues. So most of my friend list is. Okay? A lot of them are getting medical marijuana now, but some still need it. There's 22 states that need to legalize medical. And if the federal government would just blanket legalize medical and tell the states to do the same as Arizona medical marijuana program, mirror that program, use the same rules, qualifying conditions, everything. I mean, here's the qualifying conditions. There's 150 diseases alone in this book. 250 known diseases with 34 proven cancer cures. It's time to stop minimizing us people in the middle and stop looking at us as customers and dollar signs. We are people. We are human freaking beings that require health. And cannabis promotes health at every stage of biologic vertebrate life. Peace out, everybody. Love, truth, and happiness. Free marijuana from the prison of ignorance. Thank you.